Hi class, welcome to another lecture. So we are continuing with the k-means intuition. So under k-means, now there is a step which we known as update the centroids. So as I showed you in the previous case, right? So we had that we choose the random cluster centroids R1, R2, R3. Initially in the second iteration, they move closer to the centroid. Third iteration, they moved more closer. And finally, we need that these points should be placed in their appropriate clusters. Now, how does that happen? Right, so I'm just reducing the example so that the calculations can be quick. So we calculate actually two kinds of distances. One is inter-cluster distance. Right. So assume now we have only 5 points. This is cluster 1, this is cluster 2. So what do you mean by inter-cluster distance is like? From cluster C1, we compute the distance of all the points. Right? And similarly, we do this same thing for the cluster 2. I mean, as I said, these are the possible centroids. And their trajectory is moving. Initially, finally, C1 should be something here and C2 should be something here. And now we also calculate these distances. Again, to all points. So if you have n possible centroids and k points, so we have n into k distances that we compute. Fine. Now if you can see, if C2 is a possible cluster, these two distances will be less than all the distances of the point which are belonging to cluster 1. Similarly for C1, these points will have a lesser distance as compared to the points of cluster C2, right? So this is how the mathematics behind the clustering algorithm is that with this distances, you know that, okay, which points are closer to you and which points are farther to you, right? In k-means, we just take the simple Euclidean distance, but there are various optimizations to k-means so that the number of iterations reduce and the performance increases. And now, second is the intra-cluster distance. So what happens in that? So this is cluster C1. So in this particular case, we calculate only the distance to the points in the same cluster. So now if C1 or C2 is a good cluster, is a good centroid, then the sum of distances from the centroid to all the points of that cluster should be minimum, right? Quite intuitive. Oh, I forgot to change the pen color. It's obvious, right? So if you see, I have 3 points, and if I have a cluster 1, now the distance here would be C1 plus C2 plus this D1, D2, D3, D1 plus D2 plus D3, large distance, right? So we need to update the centroid. Now let's say C1 comes like this. This is 0.1, 0.2, 0.3. So D1 plus D2 plus D3 in case is reduced. So eventually what will happen, this C1 will boil down to this particular point, right? and then the distances would be the minimum, right? So we have the minimum distance, right? So if you see this distance, let me call it dp, this is dq, and this is dr. So dp would be the minimum among dr and dq. So then I will say that dp is my centroid for this particular cluster. So when you update the centroid, you need to calculate two distances. One is intercluster distance, that is from a given centroid point, that is C1. So in this case, we had k equal to 2. We compute for all the points. And then we try to compute that, okay, since these distances are large, C1 probably belongs to this particular cluster, C2 belongs to this particular cluster, right? Once we know that C1 and C2 belongs to possibly to these clusters, we compute the intra cluster distances. Once we compute the intra cluster distances, then we try to update the value of centroids so that they are located as close as to the cluster points. So that's it for this lecture.